In 2012, I had the second biggest podcast in the world.
Fucking hell.
We were doing 35, 40,000 downloads a week. I'm not trying to make billions and billions of dollars out of people. And
just millions.
People. Yeah, exactly. I'm just...
YouTubers, on a whole.
They're cunts.
That's going in the trailer.
I live in the building that all the YouTubers lived in.
Oh, right.
So I was...
The Sidemen Tower.
Yeah, I was on floor 36 of that tower.
You could have been the 8th Sideman.
I know! I've told them loads of times. I can be this, guys! Eddie Hearn must have seen that third knockdown on Gibb, and literally the money must have gone in his eyes. I've never been let down by JJ, except from that one instant.
3 words to you.
Oh, I know what they are as well.
Can you guess?
It's going to revolve around nonce.
Stephen tries Nonsgate.
Yeah.
What's that?
It was a mad week.
That's another one for the trailer.
With this fucking haircut. I get so much abuse. Oh, you B-Tech Jack, mate. You're just a shit Jack, mate. Oh, good. Oh, tell him about the time I got threatened to be killed. And I went, what?
Rewind.
Everyone knows that a story sells better when it's got a hero and a villain. Jake Paul doesn't need to wear a fucking black to be a villain. Everyone hates him.
Yeah.
So it's perfect.
Yeah.
JJ is the ultimate hero.
Hello guys and welcome back to Jack Mate's Happy Hour. No Jordan today because the trains in Norwich are shit. The trains everywhere are shit.
My train was all right.
Well, you're such a bragging. You've been to uni. We get it.
What's that got to do with trains?
I don't know. That's just my go-to line. How are you, Stevie? All right?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you,
You've been banned from Twitter, so you're not that good.
Yeah, woke up this morning, banned from Twitter for a week this time. First time was a couple of months ago. I called Katie Hopkins a cunt.
It seems to be the word cunt.
Yeah, I used it twice in this tweet. Somebody said that if you use the word cunt twice in a tweet, you get banned.
That's very specific.
So that's two... So the first time was for 24 hours. This time's for a week. Next time's going to be a month, or it could be a free strike you're out rule, and I could be off Twitter. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Guys, today we have a very important guest. We have a guy called Harry Hugo, who is the CEO of Goat Agency, which is one of the leading social media market agencies in the world. Is that right?
That'll do. I'm a co-founder, one of 3, but yeah, I'll take CEO.
Okay.
They'll be absolutely furious, the other 2 founders, not having me as CEO. So I'm going to put it out there that I didn't say that.
Well, you've worked with pretty much all the UK YouTubers and stuff like that. And I just thought today, because we've been friends for quite a while, I would say, and you often share some horror stories with me in the old WhatsApp group chat. So I thought today we'll just talk about who you are, what you do, and how cunty YouTubers can be.
Well, that is the topic of this podcast, right? Every single week. You talk about that. So your channel has grown off the back of that. So I thought, perfect. I'm a perfect man for it. And you had great success with Stu, who's a good friend of mine, who came on the show and kind of showed the other side of YouTube to what you guys can offer, which is the front line. We're kind of in the background trying to make sure you guys get paid and you can do this for a job. Yeah,
you show us behind the YouTube curtain.
Yes, exactly.
I think people, the listeners, they sometimes moan when we have guests that we enjoy. This is our show, we do what we want. But sometimes they'll go, we don't care about musicians, we don't care about this, we don't care about that. But with the Stuart one, people fucking loved that because I think they really love seeing that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realise how much goes on behind just the video they're watching.
I was fascinated by when you put the tweet out about the topic of what the podcast was going to be today. The comments and the replies were genuinely really good questions. People that are thinking about the inner workings of it, which I thought was...
There was a lot of
light on it, what your audience is interested in.
There was a lot of Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh,
so many people.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Great PR for Raid Shadow Legends. That's unpaid. First time they've ever done unpaid marketing.
Always about the money.
You're
Always
welcome.
about the money. Before we get into all the ins and outs of YouTube and whatnot, what's your go-to meal deal?
Oh, it's a good question. It's a while since I've had a meal deal.
Is it?
I'd go for a chicken and bacon. I'd mix it up between a stuffing or a mayo, depending on where I'm going to.
Yeah.
Boots, Sainsbury's, Tesco.
You're the first person that's exactly the same as me. I go chicken, bacon, lettuce, right? Yeah. In the summer months, winter months, stuffing.
It's like a roast dinner. And then I'd add a Quavers.
Right.
Because they're just an elite crisp. Now, if there's a chili, Thai sweet chili Walkers, then I'll have that.
Above Quavers?
Yeah, probably.
Right.
I'm not a summer, winter months with the crisps. Quavers, though, are real. They've released a 6-pack of Quavers now, which is like a mini pack of Quavers, but they do it in 6 packs in a multi-pack. It's fantastic.
This is the content we want.
And then the drink. I'm really boring. I'd probably have a water.
Would you?
Yeah, just to wash down the Quavers. Quavers quite overpowering in terms of flavour.
See, that surprises me because you're obviously successful in your own field. You're business minded. You're savvy. You've probably earned your coins. I thought you'd be all over the smoothies.
So you're looking at how I can get the most value for my £3.
Yeah,
I see. Yeah, I'd take a smoothie, but that'd be a morning.
Right.
Purchase.
Okay.
The Innocent, but you don't get a lot for your money when it comes to the Innocent. They price it high.
Yeah.
Actually, what you get is not a lot.
So are they, Harry, as a man in the know, are they...
Well, I'm a CEO of Meal Deals UK.
Are they screwing us over by overpricing the larger smoothie? So when we get the smaller one as part of the meal deal, we think we're getting a deal.
Yeah.
Really, we're getting fucked.
It's not something I've thought a lot about. But I feel like the chicken and the bacon sandwich is like is a premium. So like a ham and cheese sandwich. I know they're pushing it out for like 10 or 15p. Well, chicken and bacon one, they might be making it for 25p.
Yeah.
Might get an edge there.
He actually thinks about the manufacturing cost.
The Quavers. I just like Quavers.
Only time I've ever had Quavers. I'm not a big Quavers fan. I think Fiona loves them. What are you going to say?
It's just weird that
you're ready to call me out.
You have something in your mind that's the only time you've ever had Quavers.
Yeah.
I feel like Quavers was just like a childhood
this
snack.
This is going to sound really sad, but I like the problem-solving element of Quavers.
That's not a jigsaw.
How is it going to fit in my mouth? And they're all different. How am I going to crunch it down? How is it going to fit? Like they're like round. Some of them are curved.
Yeah, some of them you have to bite off a little bit before you put the whole thing in.
There's a problem-solving element to Quavers,
but they're safe. Like with a Dorito, you can get a little stab in the roof of your mouth with them.
Yeah,
right?
right.
Quavers are safe. With Quavers, the last time I had them, I'll tell you why I know it. Is I had them. If you have Quavers, you put them all in your mouth and then you get some water.
Is that how you put them in as well?
Mush it, yeah. Wave your fingers.
For people listening, I can't even describe what he did. Like snowflakes falling from the sky around his mouth.
You just absorb Quavers. They're so light. But you mix it with water and then you go in the bathroom. Why are you looking at me like that?
What the hell are you talking about?
Hear me out. You spit it into the toilet bowl. It resembles.
I swallow them.
No, it resembles sick, right? More than any other crisp, right? Oh. Try it, and then you can convince your mum to not let you go to school that day.
Oh, right. So
I like how you said try it. I'm 26.
You can try at any age. Trust me.
Not to not go to school.
Right. Let's move on. Harry, Go Agency.
Yeah.
I want to in a minute. I want to strip back and find out if you did more normal jobs. But just for context to the listeners, what is Go Agency?
Yeah.
And what are you within that?
So yeah, we started the business 4.5 years ago. We saw as the business of influencers and YouTube grew very early on that there was an opportunity. I know Stu comes from far more of the talent management side, and that's why we work together quite a lot. He went down the route of we're going to sign the talent, we're going to own the talent in some ways, and lots of influencers have management. We went the other way and knew that, to be honest, YouTubers at that point were pretty fickle.
Right.
No matter who managed them, it's about controlling the money, and the brands are the ones who actually pay the money. So if you imagine that there was 2 layers in influencer marketing before, there was the brand who had the money, and then they went straight to the talent manager. Right. We kind of squeezed in the middle and went, okay, well, we'll tell you how to do the strategy piece, how to do the approach, actually help you identify the right influencers rather than be biased as a talent manager to only push the talent that they look after.
Yeah.
So obviously as a talent manager, you only get your cut on the people that you look after.
Yeah.
So you're only ever going to shoehorn brands into using them, despite them not being right. So we kind of represent the brand, and that's why we work with all sorts of different YouTubers rather than the talent managers who I really get on with. They only look after their set. Yeah. Now that set could be huge or it could be a few people, but we're kind of sitting above that as basically agents for the brand with a media agency for the brand. So we're 120 people now. Wow. In 4.5 years. Got offices in London, in New York, in Singapore. We didn't raise any money. We did this through growing through profit, and the business that has grown has been a statement really to the growth of the industry. And YouTube, as people listening to this know, has just gone from strength to strength, and the money that's being pumped into it, and the money that you guys earn as a significant.
Well, not so much, mate.
I know that. But there's a lot of money in the market, and brands are willing to pay for it, right? They spend millions and millions and millions of dollars every single year on TV, which they know is in decline. And YouTube is where the attention is, or influencers' accounts on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube or Facebook or TikTok, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
That's where people are actually spending their time in their evenings, in between adverts on TV, like all these different things that actually there's a time for them to invest.
Right.
And they're investing far, far greater amounts of money than they were 5 years ago.
But did you always have an interest in YouTube before you started to work in it?
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm a fanboy, but I enjoy YouTube content more than I enjoy TV content. I like the opportunity that I have to dip in and out of different things as and when I want it. I liked being friends with the YouTubers to understand a bit more about them as to why they're creating the content. It's kind of why we got in touch in the first place, maybe like 3-4 years ago.
It was a while ago, yeah.
But I was a fan of your content before that.
Right.
And then I just want to know a bit more about it. Like, why are you doing that? Because your content at that point was so different to everyone else. You were pre-commentary channel.
Yeah.
And then the commentary channel boom was like 2.5 years ago.
Right.
We were doing that 5 years ago, 6
Yeah.
years ago. And I was interested to see what that angle was, because from my angle, when I was bringing deals to you, like there was lots of times that brands weren't willing to go with you because they didn't understand that you could be negative of other people and still be brand fit.
Right.
Because that was a really interesting toss-up.
How do brands see it now then? Like, surely I'm not brand friendly now.
Yeah, you're still not.
Yeah.
Yours has gone full circle. There was a time where you were.
Hang on, where? No, I'm interested now.
There was literally no time where he was.
So how are people like Alex and iNabber and those lot getting brand deals when they're doing a similar thing? I guess they don't say cunt quite as much.
Yeah, but does it all live and die by the cunt?
I don't think I'm the right place to answer that question. I'm sure you've got a guest coming up that would. But they do care about that stuff. Let's be honest. The people that are making these decisions are not people running the businesses. They're reporting into their boss, and their boss sees that they're advertising a well-known household brand on a channel that is full of expletives and sexual references and all these different things. That would be seen as potentially a negative thing. Now we can look past that and go, actually, well, what we're trying to target is the male 18 plus market in the UK.
Yeah.
And there's obviously a select group of people in the UK who are right for that. Now they're aiming their content at 18 plus males. Guess what? It's going to be a bit offensive.
Yeah.
It's what 18 plus males in the UK like.
Just geezers, aren't we?
Yeah. We're bloody lads. But it's not. It's getting over that hurdle. And because we have no bias, right? And that's kind of the advantage we have versus talent managers who have a bias to their talent. We don't have to sell the brand a certain person. So when we say you should use Jack, or you should use Chris MD, or you should use I'm Alex, or whatever, like there's no agenda for us. It's just we believe that they're the best person to get to the audience. That's what the brands care about. It's getting to audience that matters and that we think are going to act on the YouTuber's advice or product placement.
Right.
And for you, we've done a lot of deals where we've been very open with you that you can be honest with your audience that this is an ad. Like, we've selected it to the point where we're like, yeah, we're comfortable with him telling his audience it's an ad because we know they'll accept that, one, and two, they're the right target audience. So if they want it, they'll get it anyway.
Yeah. That's
Brian's another great example of someone who's really good at that. Brian and Lawrence.
See, that confuses me because with the Raid Shadow stuff that they do, I think it's Raid Shadow, isn't it, that they do?
It is,
Or the Monsters one, or is that the same one? They all, and I know this is just their style and their approach, but they almost seem like they're taking the piss out of the app.
Yeah. That's a difficult one. If I'm honest with you, lots of the games, and I know there's a lot of questions about the Raid Shadow Legends deal, which we're not part of.
Right.
Unfortunately. But lots of these games are based out of China. So lots of the English humor completely passes them by. So they can kind of get away with it. And, in the early days of TikTok, that was another case of that, right?
Right.
Because they didn't have a huge presence in the UK, and actually a lot could wash because it's coming straight out of China.
Right.
And a lot of American brands doing the same. Like, they don't get the sarcasm. So
Yeah.
it just is what it is.
Yeah.
So if they're saying something, they're saying it.
Yeah.
Like, it's when you're dealing with UK brands, they're a lot more sensitive to that, or people who are dealing at the UK offices of these international brands.
So if you had to sell my channel to a brand, what kind of brands come straight to your head then?
Giacomo.
Have I put on that much weight?
It's a hard sell.
I think it's male 18 to 30-year-old brands, and what you'd synonymously think about when you think of that.
Oh, so like you're talking beer,
Beer
beer
52.
betting,
trainers.
trainers, sort of JD,
Right.
sort of mainstream male brands. Based on your fitness thing, I'd have gone, okay, well, there's an angle there for maybe not a Gymshark, because they're going for more of a premium, and I'm not having no offense, but that's not you're not a
Bazinga.
Yeah, but he's given his life to that.
Yeah, he has.
You just went, okay, I'm going to do it for 60 days.
Yeah.
And then you fucked it up. But
Look at him now.
I'm all right. I'm borderline. I did just have a pasty for breakfast.
But like a muscle food or something like that might have gone, okay, yeah, we're going to get behind you for that challenge.
Yeah.
And again, they're going after that 18 to 30 demographic. But yeah, I'd say clothes, Top Man would be a great example of someone from Ireland, like someone who is looking to get into that market. Boohoo Man,
Yeah.
is perfect for your target age group.
Right.
So yeah, like those sort of deals.
Yeah, fair. Well, have you always been entrepreneurial then? Like, but way before Goat.
Yeah.
I know you worked. Was it Sport Lobster?
Yeah, so that's where I met the guys who are now run Goat with.
Right, but way before then. Let's talk about what you were.
25, so not a long way.
But I'm talking kind of like leaving school.
Yeah, so during school, and I think it's pretty cliche, and lots of people say it, but like I sold sweets in school. Because when double periods were introduced, and everyone listening here going, "Oh, double periods, great!" Like get a 5-minute break in between lessons, where all the other lessons you had to go straight to the other lesson. Like, double period, you relax for 5 minutes. You start throwing the stuff around the classroom. I was throwing Chewits around the classroom. I was getting 50p pieces coming back towards me. But once I realised that you could buy a stick of Chewits for 35p, but I could break it in half and sell one half for 50p. And then it was an economies of scale thing. If you broke it into individuals, people were way willing to spend more on a single Chewit than they were on a full pack. Full pack you couldn't sell for like more than 70p.
Yeah.
But if you split your stick, you got a pound out of it. And if you sell them in individuals, you could get like 120, 130. So you could quickly, you could quickly scale up, mainly because the actual cash people carry. They're happy to spend a loose 10p on a single Chewit.
Right.
They're carrying 10p. Now, that is a terrible deal. But if you scale that, when you're a 14-year-old boy in a Spanish double period, you quickly cash £5-6. That's your lunch.
Yeah.
So I didn't make a lot of money doing that, but I saw the opportunity.
Yeah.
And then the main spark for me entrepreneurially is through rejection, which I know, again, very, very think close to your heart. So the rejection for me was I wanted to be a football journalist. Once I realised I couldn't be a footballer, that was a daunting moment for me.
Yeah. Why, you shit? Or?
Yeah, I was utterly shit. So I realised, okay, what are the two things I want in my career? And the two things I boiled down my career to were I want to be mates with footballers,
right?
And I want to go to football matches for free. That was it. That was my career. My whole career was coming down to those two factors.
So you went around all the football grounds, started offering Chewits to footballers.
That was the first business model. It failed. They're more interested in beers and pies.
Yeah.
But I switched it and thought, okay, well, I'm actually quite academic. I can write about things. So, okay, well, can I turn my hand to my biggest interest, which was football, write about football. And then I wanted to see actually what football journalism was all about. Bournemouth at that point, 2011, 2012, were League One.
Right.
And I went to the Bournemouth Echo and said, can I shadow you guys for a match just to see what being a sports journalist is like and if I want to do it. And I was 16 at the time. And they said no, because you're not 18. That was kind of the fuck you I needed to go, okay, well, it doesn't make a difference if I'm 16, 17, 18, or 35. Like, why doesn't it? I'm literally just going to sit next to you and watch what you do.
Yeah.
It makes no difference. And within 6 months, I'm a Liverpool fan, and I launched the Liverpool website in January 2012, became the biggest Liverpool website in the world, February 2012.
Wow,
what
was that?
The idea behind it was called Read Liverpool. It was called something before that, but it was now Read Liverpool. And I understood, having been on Twitter in 2011, 2012, and that was a real buzz, and everyone was talking about sport on Twitter. That was the platform that everyone used to talk about live events, and they still do, but at that point it was like rife. And I was talking to 30 or 40 people every single day on Twitter about the same thing, which was Liverpool. But I'd never met any of them. There were all sorts of different races, religions, ages, genders, all the way around the world. But I never met them, but I was talking about this one thing. And at that point, all of us had like between 5,000 and 25,000 followers, which at that point, 2011, was a lot.
Yeah.
And you could move your following very easily.
Right.
So I had the idea of building this like super group of all those people together to push one website. And that was the Liverpool website. And we drove like 150,000 clicks in the first night.
Wow.
That's
And we were
crazy.
like, wow, this is a real business.
Yeah.
Started like spamming that, and then worked. I got invited to work for Liverpool when I was 17 in 2012 for Liverpool tours. The first time they'd been to Australia,
Right.
and I went in to work with them on their editorial because I knew how to drive traffic that wasn't traditional match reports because we couldn't compete with the newspapers on match reports. So we didn't create that content. We created interactive quizzes, top 10 lists, things like that.
Yeah.
All the stuff that we've all clicked on over the last
Yeah.
about football.
Well, people, that's still thriving on YouTube, isn't it?
100%. So that it's the intrigue content.
Yeah.
We did a great job of that, and then I scaled that business to exactly the same formula. Find the super group of fans who are talking about one thing, and then just scaled it for 50 different clubs from the age of 16 to 18. Then did podcasts. So in 2012, I had the second biggest podcast in the world.
Fucking hell.
No one else was podcasting. So Gervais had come in and out,
Yeah.
and Stone Cold launched. He's the only guy who stopped me getting the first.
Really?
Yeah, we were bigger than Ramble. We were bigger than the BBC podcast, the Sky Sports podcast.
Under what name? What were you?
It was called the Bib Theorists.
Right.
We were doing 35, 40,000 downloads a week
Wow.
because there was no real competition.
Yeah.
We were the first guys to realize that you didn't have to be in a studio to record a podcast.
Yeah.
In 2012, everyone else was doing it in a studio. And it's still the best way to do it.
Yeah.
But when I was running a business from my bedroom in Bournemouth, and with all my powerful mates on Liverpool Twitter, being from all the way around the world, living all sorts of different lives, it was an impossible situation to get everyone together once a week. So we worked with a Skype encoder to basically rework their Skype recording to be high quality enough to sound like it was in a studio. And then we were the first guys to do Skype recording podcasts that sounded like they were in studios. So we could call anybody and make it sound great. So we really launched football journalists.
Wow.
Our network made football journalists stars because they'd never really... Soccer Supplement did not exist. All these podcasts had to rely on the journalists being, working for that newspaper's podcast, or them being in the country, which they very rarely are.
Right.
So what we did, we was like, okay, well, we'll just call you for 30 minutes and you tell us a transfer scoop and then we'll get the fuck out. We'll get a shitload of views. We announced loads of transfers.
Fucking hell.
Before that was a big thing to do.
Wow.
So in 2012 summer, we were like the podcast to listen to if you're a Liverpool fan. And most of the signings, we like had Rory Smith in from the Times, Tony Evans from the Times, all these guys just going, yeah, I'm hearing that, Suarez is looking to leave, Carroll's coming in. It's like, whoa, this is awesome. And then they realized the power of the information they had and then started doing their own stuff.
Wow.
But we scaled that across loads of different clubs. And yes, I cursed Stone Cold.
Yeah.
I never got number one, but we've got screenshots of us. We were always in the top 10, but we got up to number 2.
That's crazy. Like even that story from just your beginnings. Like, don't mean this in a patronising way at all, but everyone who's successful now in the industry, unless they've fallen into it by chance, they seem to have these beginnings, these interesting ways in which they've got into it. Like, mine was a bit different. I just scammed kids on Habbo Hotel.
Yeah, that's my favourite story.
Podcast-wise,
yeah.
podcast-wise, we put nowhere near that kind of effort in.
No.
We just have to walk in here, hit
We had
record
no
and go.
choice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think if we did have the choice, we just wouldn't have done it. Like, if we didn't have a choice either.
I've tried numerous podcasts before falling on Happy Hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched all of them.
He didn't give up.
we just needed something. I needed something to entertain me. But I owe a lot to the story to really launch it was that laptops got introduced to my school into sixth form the year that I joined sixth form.
Right.
And within 3 months, 3 of my 4 subjects at A level had banned me from using a laptop in class because I was just coding websites and building and writing articles.
I love that though. I love that
One
kind
of
of stuff.
them
Yeah.
was my sociology teacher who I love to this day. He was a former BBC journalist. He got it. he understood that I was driving like 500,000 people to my website network every day. So he thought, fuck, this is a good opportunity to get some clout. I can see, this guy's going to do all right.
Yeah.
And he kept me behind after one lesson and just went, look, I know what you're doing. I know everyone else has told me that you can't use a laptop. I'm going to let you use a laptop, but you've got to have 2 laptops in your lesson. You need to use the money you've earned by the website to buy another laptop. You can record and take notes on one, record the lesson, like audio, take notes on it, and then the other the other laptop you can use to do your website.
Fucking hell.
So I had 2 laptops in this lesson.
That's
I'd
class.
record the audio, take notes, and then I'd also be managing website network, which we had 500 writers at this point. So what? Like globally, this was a proper business.
Yeah.
I wasn't making a load of money because I wasn't that commercial at that time. But, and I was in school.
Yeah.
But like
you had your Chewits business, but proper not.
My dad, get me some more Chewits.
Did your grades take a hit for all of this?
So my grades in the 3. So I was an A-star student going into sixth form, and then I got D, in the 3 subjects. Didn't let me have a laptop, and I got an A in sociology.
Wow.
That's mental.
Yeah,
I felt like I owed him one.
Yeah.
He'd given so much opportunity to me. It was like giving me that chance. I wasn't gonna fuck him over.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing in YouTube world. Like if YouTube is good to us, like we'll be good to them. We'll give them chances. Like it's a difficult world. This is a world that we're trying to understand as everything develops. And as long as people are all right to us, we just want to be the good guys in the industry. And I think that's very much that's why Stu and I get on very well, because he's exactly the same ethos as I just want to be the guy who's liked and respected. I'm not trying to make billions and billions of dollars out of people and
just millions.
People. Yeah, exactly. I'm just, and if someone else makes $1 billion, I want to make $1 billion as well.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for them to make $1 billion.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's the sort of ethos I've got. I don't really care. I just want to do something that's cool in an industry that I'm passionate about.
I think you're doing that. But it's funny to hear your kind of like entrepreneurial spirit come through there, because I thought I was, just because I used to make Bebo skins for people.
That's good though. That's good.
But I couldn't leave.
I was post Bebo.
What?
I was kind of post.
Oh, was you?
Yeah. What's the first? Pixo was my first.
Pixo was before Bebo.
Yeah, maybe I just skipped the Bebo.
Yeah, I think you skipped Bebo. Yeah,
I went straight to Facebook.
Pixo.
Whoa, sit yourself down.
Yeah.
Why do I not know what this is?
It was the first website building.
Yeah.
Like you built like custom. It was a more website heavy, coding heavy than Bebo. Bebo was like a front page. This had all your different pages.
Like you'd do HTMLs.
Yeah.
And then you'd find the codes online. You'd put them in. I had a page, for example, called My Stickers. Right?
The entrepreneurial spirit's coming out here.
And I'd click on it and I'd just go on websites and find like flashy, glittery stickers.
Yes,
it could be of like
the MSN stickers.
Yeah, it could be literally anything. Like the ones that come to my mind would be like a character from Space Jam, but it'd be all glittery. And then I'd copy the code and put it on. And then when you land on the stickers page, there's just loads and loads of different images. Mine was called westhamfanjack.pixo.com.
Nice.
And I had a picture of what's his name? Pete Dunham from Green Street.
What? You're going to say Jack Sullivan?
That was later on.
Yeah.
That was the Bebo. But Pete Dunham had a Stony on, and then I did a speech bubble coming out of his mouth saying, "Oi, geezer, welcome to West Ham Fan Jack." Pixo.com. And then I think I had a picture or a page that I named. Well, I know I had this. I had a page that was I called it like favourite food.
Oh yeah.
But it was just models on there. But secret little code name. No one's going to want to know what my favourite food is.
You're a little perv.
Yeah. You click on it and it was just loads of pictures of Jessica Jane Clement from The Real Hustle.
No. A great show.
This is mental that we're like all the same age and I've never heard of this website.
But that's pretty normal. Pixo was very much the internet. Like if you were into the internet and forums and things like that, you used Pixo.
Yeah.
I didn't even have enough friends to have like a top 16 on Bebo. So
Did you not?
I had probably like 8 friends.
I would have been. I would have definitely been in it.
Yeah, you would have been 8th or 9th.
People used to take Bebo so seriously, didn't they? Do you remember when they introduced giving the love?
That
Yeah.
kicks
It's like
things off.
Poke on Facebook. That was such a big thing.
Yeah.
And now it's creepy.
My co-founder is married to the girl he poked on Facebook.
Really?
No.
That's how he chatted her up.
That's quite a cute
Great
story.
story.
Yeah. Knowing your background though, I thought you were going to say your co-founder invented the Facebook poke or something.
No,
So you've done this website, very football heavy and stuff.
Yeah.
And now you're top of the game in the influencer marketing kind of fields. How'd that come about? Do you remember, was there ever a clear and cut day where you and your co-founder sat down and went, we're going to do this?
Yeah, so we were after I sold out my business for the football blogging. This is the worst commercial decision I ever made, but Aaron came to me, my co-founder now at Go, and he was just co-founded a company called Sport Lobster, and we tried to take on Facebook and Twitter in 2013 to become the sports social network. Terrible idea, because they're quite big companies with lots of money. But we raised $25 million to do so. And he came to me when I was a 17-year-old with a big podcast and said, I want to sponsor your podcast in order to get more eyeballs on my brand. I said, great. Well, it cost me 15 quid a month to host it. So if you could just cover that.
Oh my God.
So he had 160,000 people listen to his sponsorship every month for 15 quid. And yeah, I've developed commercially. But he got a great deal. But off the back of that, I met him, kind of talked about how I think I could help his business, how that I was coming to the end of my A-levels and I had offers from universities to go and do journalism, but really I wanted to get into the world of work. Went up to his office and I remember very clearly pitching him like this 50-page deck of how I thought his company was shit.
Right.
And these are the things that I'd do to change it. I was 18.
It's very Zuckerberg. Very Zuckerberg.
Such a cocky twat.
Yeah. But no, that's good. You need that bit of cockiness in this.
And Aaron's got the same sort of vein. He got it, and I got offered the job on the train back down to Bournemouth, and I joined 2 weeks later. My first day was I was the first in the queue to pick up my A-levels, and I got straight on the train and then commuted into work.
Oh wow.
But at that company we spent so many millions of pounds on so many different advertising channels. We had Cristiano Ronaldo as our headline ambassador. We sponsored the NFL. We sponsored the NBA. We did everything. TV ads, radio ads, billboards, everything. We were like the it guys in sport for 2 years.
Right.
And because the two co-founders, Aaron and Andy, didn't want to be like the front and center, the face, Nick is another co-founder at Go, they were the young guys who headed the marketing team. We were the face of the company. So anytime someone wanted to wine and dine Sport Lobster to get their money, they wine and dined us. So I was an 18-year-old who loves sport. I sat courtside at the NBA. I went to every football match I possibly wanted to go to in the director's box. Like, I had the most unbelievable 2 years of my life. I was Cristiano Ronaldo's social media manager for 2 years. Like, it was mental.
What does that mean then? So did you tweet
unbelievable amount of compliance. Yeah, we tweeted and Facebook posted to like 180 million people.
What?
I'm really dull.
The pressure. Yeah, we literally just sat there.
I did Tim Minchin's.
Fantastic songs.
Yeah.
At 18, I was still studying. I did maths and further maths.
But
that's the difference we were doing.
I was thrown into this opportunity. Like, I had no idea what this company was going to be. I joined when there was like 4 of us in a small office with £500,000 in the bank that we were just going to try something. 2 years later, we had $25 million in the bank in terms of investment, and we were doing these ridiculous things. And we were doing
crazy.
The things that an 18-year-old boy who loves sport would design to do. Literally, I did that.
That's insane. Which
was awesome. But the realization point, which is your question, and I've blabbered on to get here.
That's your podcast, mate.
No, thanks, mate. The realization point was that we had Cristiano Ronaldo post about Sport Lobster to drive traffic, and we were an app, right? So we drive traffic to the app. He drove 1,800 downloads.
Right.
So 1,800 downloads. He cost a lot of money.
Is so back then? Is that not good?
It's not for the investment. Terrible.
Right.
The next day, I went to Aaron and said, "Can I just have 10 quid to pay one of my mates who used to be a football blogger for me? He's now got 100,000 Arsenal followers on his Twitter account.
Right.
So I just pay him 10 quid and just see the difference. I paid him 10 quid and he got 2,000 downloads.
What?
And we were like, this is it. This is it. This is the gold mine we want. This is it. And we started spending 30 grand a month just on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram personalities, Facebook fan pages, things like that. And we drove 90% of our downloads, 2.5 million downloads in a 9-month period through influencers. And that was the point when, and at the end of that 9 months, where Andy and Aaron, the two founders of that business, kind of fell out. Andy wanted to continue down the sponsorship route, like really grow the brand image, and Aaron wanted to grow the user base. And the user base was a no-brainer in terms of just invest heavily in influencers.
Yeah.
And we hadn't even touched YouTube at this point. This was just Facebook, just Twitter mainly. Instagram wasn't even really a thing.
Why was your mate with this following online? Why was he getting more downloads than Cristiano Ronaldo?
People cared.
It was the following itself.
Yeah, the engagement, the people cared about this community. He was talking about Arsenal on another platform and saying, look, just go and follow me on that platform. Ronaldo, you follow Ronaldo because he's Ronaldo.
Yeah, you'll have a lot of
says.
female followers following him just because he's attractive.
Yeah. And you have a lot of people that just don't care. He's just Ronaldo. Yeah. He's also suggested to follow when you start any of these apps, right? You log a Twitter account. So a lot
of people probably don't care either.
They just don't care. Whereas this guy who had 100,000 fans who cared, and don't forget, this is 2013, so the ability to move an audience from Twitter to something else, and the amount of people that saw your tweet and clicked your tweet was incredibly high. So yeah, we can move people very, very quickly.
And then you came onto YouTubers.
Well, then we left that business. Once that falling out happened between the co-founders, and we agreed with Aaron, going, this is mental. You want to spend millions of dollars on things that we literally have proven don't work, or you can spend millions of dollars on things that we know gets an instant ROI. And we were like, okay, well, we're going to leave and we're just going to do that. Thanks.
Yeah. Fucking hell. So, and I want to take a little pause there. I want to hear about that after the break. When we come back, I should say, we'll be speaking more in depth about YouTubers and some of the horror stories that come with that. This is fascinating to me. So hopefully we see you guys in the second half. Cheers. Hello guys and welcome back to Jackmate's Happy Hour. Almost forgot.
I was watching your lips here. I think he's not going to get this. He's not going to pull through.
He does it far too often as well.
I have to look at the mic covers. We're getting new mic covers soon.
That's good, isn't it? Going to get rid of it. Is it still yellow?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's yellow.
It's just a new design.
Why don't you do different coloured mics with like JLS?
Speaking of,
what a throwback that is.
No, they're back together.
I don't give a shit.
Oh. I've seen them live.
What have you?
I've seen JLS live.
Favourite JLS member?
No, we're not going to have...
Sorry, we're just someone else.
All right, I'll sit out.
I like Ashton Marigold.
Ashton, man. Backflip. It's a good gimmick.
To be fair, this is going to make this sound worse. I only went and saw JLS live. Oh, why am I saying it? Because Ollie Murs was supporting him.
What's wrong with that? Ollie's a nice guy.
Okay, yeah, so I went to go see him because I wanted to see Ollie Murs.
Music is shit music. But...
I think even he admit that.
yeah.
But JLS were actually really good. And when Ashton did a backflip, I was like, this is a great day.
24-year-old you was creaming.
Not 2 years ago.
Right,
I was 18.
Harry.
Hello.
YouTubers.
Yeah.
On a whole.
They're cunts.
That's going in the trailer. You want to write that time code down?
No, look, I think advertising over the last 20 years has become digital, and we've been bidding against computers in order to get to audiences. Like Facebook ads, you literally just put a bid number in and then you just hope that Facebook chooses which audience to pick at the right price.
Oh, wow.
Influencer marketing is human to human. And so you're doing negotiations to human beings, and human beings have problems and they have obstacles they've got to face. It's not a computer, it's not automated. So as with anything, when you're dealing with humans, you get brilliant experiences and you get fucking awful ones.
Right.
And before I go into any of the horror stories, which I have a plethora of, having been in this business for 7 years and been in the goat business for 4.5 years, but there are a lot of good people out there. There are a lot of people there's a lot of people who were really shit who are now actually really good. They've understood how it works.
Right. Who are some of the good ones?
The sidemen, for all the stick they sometimes get, are fantastic.
Are they?
They're the pinnacle of working professionally with this, and they're super smart. I deal mostly with Simon and Josh. But yeah, on the whole, I've been very, very impressed with all of them. We've worked a lot with Ethan. I spent some time with Vic on a shoot. We've done a lot with JJ. So yeah, on the whole, very, very good group to work with. Zach and Jay are fantastic.
Love Zach and Jay.
They're brilliant.
Not that I don't love the Sidemen, but I just love Zach and Jay.
Yeah, no, Zach and Jay are great. And we got to know them pretty well quite early on, so they've kind of worked with us on a few campaigns that they wanted to do that we've made happen or trying to make happen.
So they pitch to you, do they?
Yeah, so that's a bit of a reverse dynamic. So normally we take a deal to a YouTuber and say, this is what we want you to do, or this is the campaign, what would you do around it?
Yeah.
Whereas we do that with them as well, but they also like to go, oh, we've got this idea, we're going to shoot it in 4 weeks. We think it'd be great for this.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, perfect. Have you also thought this, and this brand? And then we go and take it to the brand, so they go, yeah or no.
Do you like that then? Or is that like...
It's great because
Yeah.
it just lowers my effort.
Yeah. and when you say these YouTubers pitch to you, is that a physical pitch, or do they just send you a little message?
They'll just text me and saying that this is the idea, and then I say, great, I need these 4 questions answered. Text them back, answer those questions, and I can go and take it to the brand.
Oh, amazing.
And then once the brand goes yay or nay to like the top level idea, then we'll work with them. We'll kind of bring the YouTubers in. Like I've brought very recently actually, but we've brought YouTubers in to pitch with us, the client.
Oh, wow.
Like I said, we're not trying to screw anyone here. We're not going, oh, well, you can't see anything that's going on, like, because we're not trying to take a huge margin.
Yeah.
We're trying to help people do cool shit.
Yeah.
And Zach and Jay are a great example of people who actually want to do things that are going to change the game.
Yeah.
And I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So, if it's them doing crazy challenges that I can help support and make even crazier because a brand's involved, then I'm very willing to do so. So yeah, I think those groups are great.
What's an example of somebody being terrible to work with?
So without naming names, there are people who just don't get it.
Right.
They don't get that you can't. You can't. I'm not saying I'm the brand, but we are the guys who pay you.
Yeah.
So fucking us about
Yeah.
is not going to help.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't equate to a relationship that's going to work. Again, this is a human to human business.
Yeah.
And everything's about relationship and servicing and trying to help people out to do good stuff. I'm only trying to put money in your pocket. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to take it out.
Yeah.
At no point have I ever taken money from a YouTuber. I've
Yeah.
only given it to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. Like I said, I'm not a talent manager. I'm not someone who goes, you have to do this in order to... I'm not in that position.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I've got 10 grand. I want to do this. Would you want to do it? Now, people that go, yeah, but like, I just want a yes or no.
Yeah.
I want to know and then move on.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a lot of YouTubers out there now that think a bit too much of themselves? Because you always
for
hear the
sure.
stories of actors and actresses
For
who request a lot.
But I think there's a load
People are starting to write riders.
Oh, wow. Come on, tell me. No names. Or you can tell me names and I'll bleep it. But I want to know some of the fucking riders. Do you know
There's
any?
people that are involved in the Logan KSI fight and the surrounds of it that wrote riders that were not Logan Paul and KSI. Logan Paul KSI.
So basically,
no demands. Like
Jake
I wasn't
Paul.
involved. I wasn't involved.
I was gonna say, that's got to be Jake
I wasn't
Paul.
involved, and there's some UK people as well.
wow.
But I wasn't involved in and I'm not claiming to be involved in the setup of that. The guys who were have done a fantastic job, and a credit to YouTube and the industry around it to put together an event like that. But I'm involved enough in the industry to hear about these stories.
Right.
And yeah, like people are beginning to write riders, which if you'd have told me that 4 years ago, I'd have laughed.
Yeah, well, I am laughing now.
we were literally speaking about riders
with
has it gone out now? It has.
with John last week.
By this point, it has gone out.
But
yes.
John managed Rock and Roll Stars.
Yeah, so
The Enemy. They had a #1 album. So you kind of understand it. It's like when Stu came on and he was talking about KSI Logan 1 and Jake Paul turned up at the Manchester Arena and was like, this isn't the right size ring. And Stu was like, no, it is. Yeah, we've had a measure.
It is, you did.
yeah. Have you...
People just trying to be difficult for the sake of, like, again, it comes back to, we're not trying to screw you. We're trying to help you. I'm literally trying to create your career and your living. I'm not trying to fuck anyone over. I'm just trying to give you some opportunity to do cool things.
What do you think of Jake Paul?
I've never met him.
Right.
I actually really liked his old content.
Did you?
Not
what, the
like-
vlogs?
Yeah, I know I'm not his audience, but like I can appreciate from a business point of view what he was trying to achieve.
Yeah.
So I actually thought it was very smart, the content he was creating. I think some stuff that he's done is questionable, but at the same time, I don't think he's well liked in an industry which, okay, he professes to want to be an entrepreneur, or he is an entrepreneur, and he's made a lot of money, so fair play to him.
But does that instantly make you an entrepreneur because you made a lot of money?
Yeah, I mean, he's been backed massively by big investment funds, right, who's invested because he's got a lot of followers, not necessarily because he's got a great idea.
Yeah.
Now, I think he's done a lot of good things. He's also done a few things that I think that the Team 10 thing was a smart theory.
Yeah.
not great in practice because, again,
everyone left because he was a cunt.
Yeah, you're an 18-year-old, 19-year-old person who's living with the people all the time and trying to make them a star and taking a cut, and it was never going to end well.
Yeah.
But it was a great branding exercise for Jake Paul.
Right.
So I think we've seen Logan grow up. We've seen him grow up in the last 2 years. He made a massive mistake, and then he had to reevaluate everything he was doing. He was the king, and he got taken down into the pits. And he's had to reevaluate everything. He had to re-understand what actually people cared about and liked. And now he's the king again. 3 million video views per.
Is he the king again then?
I think so. There's no one who can. Him and JJ are the kings of this.
Yeah.
They know and they can do whatever they want, and it works. Logan's created a podcast which is very watchable. First 10 episodes, I thought, I hate that Mike guy. Now I really like him.
Right.
Now
I met him at the.
He's meant to be a decent bloke.
He was actually very, very self-aware.
Yeah, I think he's a decent bloke.
A lot of people say to me like, "Oh, you judge someone and then you have them on your podcast," but isn't that what life's about? Like you have your first impressions.
My first impression of Mike was that guy is fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And he's actually pulling Logan down.
Yeah.
And now I think Logan needs Mike.
Really.
And I think it's smart. I think there's a nice relationship there. That Mike isn't a star, but he's becoming one because of Logan. I like that dynamic.
Yeah.
It's like me and you.
Less money.
No money.
But yeah, I like what Logan's done. He's reinvented himself. The vlogs are great. They always were great, but they're even better now.
They're just Dobrik formats, aren't they?
Yeah, but he's gone to the adult level, right? He's going, oh yeah, I can talk about sex, I can talk about drugs, I'm going to talk about what you guys talk about, which is like things that 18 plus people actually find entertaining rather than trying to water down YouTube. And he's just gone, all right, well, accept me for who I am. I don't need 3 million views. I've got a fuck off house and millions of dollars in the bank. If I get 1 million views a video, so be it. He doesn't because he's creating content he actually cares about and likes.
Yeah.
He gets a shitload of views.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
I like that he's done that though. I always find it strange when I'll see like a 26-year-old YouTuber and it's like they'll write family friendly content. And I'm a bit like, that's not you, is it? I get it from a business point of view, but you're clearly being fake online.
But it could be, right? It could be, and it's sometimes it's not for us to judge, but it is up to me to take the piss out of it if I want to.
Yeah.
And You've watched my stuff for a while, and we've been mates for a long time. But so you've seen the change in how people perceive me as well. Because at the start, when I used to take the piss out of the Chubby Bunny Challenge, Ollie White, Alfie Days, all of this, I was the evil guy that no one.
You're right.
Yeah. The YouTubers didn't want to touch me. Like, well, if I'd have started this podcast with the same concept 4 years ago, there'd be no way any of the YouTubers we've had come
wouldn't have want to come on.
Casper Lee was sat here. Casper Lee, the guy that I've had this big drama with. Why is that? I always think
because they become self-aware. They've grown up. They're 26 now,
and
they're
so have you.
19, and you've become more self-aware. You've understood that they are human beings. They're not just a face on a screen. And I think both sides of the party have grown up a bit.
Right.
And I think, as people grow up, they're always going to lend themselves to a more cynical viewpoint, which has always been your viewpoint. And they've kind of
I've been cynical since I was about 12.
And they've kind of gone, actually, he was right. Fucking putting marshmallows in my mouth was pretty fucking stupid.
Do you think, based on that, is why we've seen channels like Alfie, Casper drop off the face of a cliff?
Yeah, I think I like both of those guys.
Okay.
And
personally or content-wise?
Personally.
Yeah.
And no Casper better than no Alfie. But I admire what both of them have done. They have fallen off and they're very open to admit it. I think both of them are quite self-aware of that.
Yeah.
I think Alfie and Casper are both more interested in the business side of things now than they are in the content creation side of things. They're kind of just keeping up the content creation to save face.
Right.
Because they're a YouTuber and they've always been a YouTuber. And to be honest, they need to create content because that's what they do. And it's also what they love, right?
Yeah.
They got into the game because they love creating content.
Yeah.
And I think both of them, having created a daily vlog every day for the last 250 days like we have with a team of 5, I cannot understand how Alfie used to do it on his own every day.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. The amount of shooting and production that he must have gone through every single day, the stress of that. I'm I admire that.
What, before he had an editor and stuff?
He does it all himself, genuinely.
Does he?
Yeah, he is a workaholic.
Right.
So I'm very impressed by Alfie. But yeah, he's fallen off because he never changed his content.
No. But is that that's the downfall though, isn't it?
Yeah, but the best time, I thought Alfie was going to come back when he released his podcast. His podcast was really good. It was about a year ago.
That's when he had Alex and Inaber on, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I tore it down.
I really liked it.
Right.
I really liked that Inaber.
I thought he was really patronising on that though.
Really? I thought he asked good questions. I thought he was just difficult, which is kind of what I wanted an interview to be with those guys.
But the reason I had a big say about that is because I think he should have had me on there. Because if I felt like, and I get on with Fraser, and Alex is a very good friend of mine, so I'm not trying to badmouth them, but I think they were the easier ones to combat in that situation.
But a lot of comments said that as well. I remember seeing a lot of comments saying, try to do this.
But this is why I disagree that I don't think his podcast was all that, because I
just like the fact he was trying to reinvent himself.
Fair enough.
It comes back to, do I think he's self-aware? Yeah, because he tried.
Yeah.
He knew he had to change something. He started to swear, like all these different things that he'd never done before.
Yeah.
He realised, actually, I need to change.
Yeah.
Because he realised that, you know, he was 16, 17, 18, 19 when he was creating these daily vlogs. And so were his audience, if not younger. And now his audience are 24, 25, and they want different content.
Right.
And yeah, I think he's very self-aware to that. And Casper's the same. He's now creating like comedy skits. He's doing stuff with his girlfriend. You know, that's far more relatable to his audience now. Now his audience may be cut down, but we see Josh Peters changing his content completely.
That's who I was going to get onto.
And gone from being something that I know you ridiculed and I was never really a fan of, but watched because I'm interested in the space.
Yeah.
To being like hero-led content where if a creative agency came out of it and charged £1 million, you'd be like, that is brilliant.
Yeah.
So I think people can reinvent themselves. Logan's shown it. Josh has shown it.
Do you
wouldn't write these guys off? Yeah.
Do you think Josh is the biggest case in the UK of the?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Everyone hated him.
Yeah.
In the YouTube world, except from that close group.
Yeah.
Not hate him. Hate his content.
No. Yeah. Of course. Would put him in the same bracket as the family-friendly stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And also maybe had a bit of a grudge on him because he only got famous because of Casper.
Yeah.
And I think actually, and also because the content he was creating was just the same as all the others, and he was famous because he was Casper. It was literally like just Casper's second channel.
Yeah.
Whereas now he's different to Zach and Jay, right?
Yeah, he's boned himself. He Josh, Zach and Jay, Nico and Milana, they are inspiring me now. I want to take 2020 and do like the Greg Paul video.
Let's not get away from it, right? All of these videos are old school TV formats.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's like, even the latest Joe Weller video with Nico.
Yeah.
That's a TV format.
Yeah.
Look at the Sidemen channel. It's full of fucking TV game shows.
Yeah.
This is a generation that they're entertaining now that didn't watch TV for a long time.
TGF are just Jackass, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's like
all of it's just TV shows from the 90s and the early 2000s that these people who are now watching it just didn't watch that much. So now they're just seeing the 2020 version of Jackass and we're like, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because exactly the same as when we watched it, we're like, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
But it's just new.
My Greg Paul documentary is just a mockumentary, isn't it? Just a piss take. We touched briefly on the YouTube boxing. We skimmed it, I think.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that in a nutshell?
2 of the best nights of my life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that the first JJ fight and the second JJ
Yeah,
fight?
I didn't go to the Weller one. I'm gutted I didn't. I got invited and I'm embarrassed to say that I was skeptical.
So was I, mate.
I lived in Stratford. And that's another funny story. I live in the building that all the YouTubers lived in.
Oh, right.
So I was
the Sidemen Tower.
Yeah. I was on floor 36 of that tower. I now live next door, but I was on floor 36 of that tower, in between Road to Shore, Calyx, Cal Freezy, Toby. All those guys. So I got to know those guys as well. Like,
you could have been the 8th Sideman.
I know. I've told them loads of times. I can be this, guys.
Just knocking on the door at 1 in the morning. Yeah, I can hear you filming.
But like we're like just cutting quickly to an example what's in my head. Like literally giving handing Calyx a hard drive of branded content that I needed him to upload from work because I'd just been giving it to. I got posted by the brand, and I went to his door and just gave it to him.
Right.
Like there were just weird things.
Yeah.
This YouTube community was created through that network and that tower.
Yeah.
And you realise the reason that everyone moved in there, right?
No.
It's the fastest internet in the UK.
What?
Because it was the communication tower for the Olympics. That's why everyone moved there.
Really?
It's a gig up and down. So the reason they moved is because it used to take like old school YouTube with the old internet, right? You say like half an hour, 45 minutes to upload a video.
Yeah.
It took 5 seconds to upload a video on that tower.
Fuck off.
So efficiency, it was the perfect place to be.
That's insane.
So the strategy, these guys are smart. They understand the value of this.
Do you know how long it takes to...
Hours, probably.
Yeah.
No, Norwich.
yeah.
Someone's holding a wire.
Yeah.
Jack, are you trying to put it in?
I'm the only one who uses the internet in Norwich.
You ask Fiona on a little bike, pedaling your internet,
in a big hamster ball.
You did say she did say that your internet in your house keeps going down, or your electric keeps going down.
Yeah, Alex came round the other day and we filmed a collab, and so this is just a little bit off piece for a second, but my loft is my office. I call it the shed. Really
trade secrets.
yeah. And you work as a butcher, don't you? Steve?
That's what you told me earlier.
And the window is like, like they're slanted, aren't they? Like,
yeah.
And I left it just a little bit ajar, and we had that storm a few weeks ago now. Storm
Ciara. People kept calling it Kira.
Yeah, fuck them.
Is it not Ciara?
We called it CC in our office because nobody could choose.
There we go. Storm CC.
That's very Shoreditch. Right? And the storm blew the window open. I came back from like a day or two away. Everything was soaked. My computer was soaked. My camera was soaked. Your thing you made me that...
The most important thing got soaked there.
You made me a lovely 1 year anniversary happy hour present. It was a shut the box.
KSI canvas.
That was fine.
Yeah.
The real important thing.
Yeah, that was on the other side of the room. Would I trade them? Yeah, I would. But so Alex came around the other day. We started filming. I put my neon sign on. And the electric kept tripping over and over again. Turns out I've just got water in all the plugs, so that's what happened there.
I like how casual. That's just that. just
electrocution. Electricity mixing. I'm sure I'll be fine.
Do you think the YouTube boxing is going to go anywhere from here? Are we seeing a decline already?
I don't know what the numbers were for the second fight.
Well, Eddie Hearn said they were decent.
I think the numbers,
and Eddie wouldn't lie.
I think the numbers for the Logan 2 were very, very good. I think Jake was good enough.
Really? You think so?
I think it was good enough.
Yeah.
And it was Eddie needed Jake to win, right?
Yeah.
He needed it to keep it going.
Yeah. Because do you now think, leading on from that KSI versus
I'm pretty confident
Jake...
the deal's already done.
Do you think, really?
Why is JJ, and I don't know, so this is me literally speculating, and there'll be people watching this who I'm close with in the industry going, oh, why'd you say that? Why'd you say that? But I think the deal's done for these reasons.
Right.
JJ, everyone else is, and you were there, everyone else is in this fucking balcony. JJ sat ringside.
Yeah.
Why is he not with his mates?
That's very true.
Why has that been
He's ready for that part of the end of the fight.
He was up there with us all of the evening.
Up there. Why?
Yeah.
But there's a reason for that. JJ's not going to fucking Miami for 24 hours. He flew from a gig to Miami, watched the fight, and back to a gig. There's no way he sits that close to the ring without him having an understanding that he's got a chance of going in that ring. And for a reason.
And the cameras kept cutting to him, didn't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he either got paid money to sit there, or there's a deal that is very close to being done that was done before going, if this happens, are you going to do the deal? The deal is at this value.
Wow.
But JJ's got all the power. Like
I'd love for him to say no. Just Jake Paul whinging for the next year.
The bag's too big. The bag's too big.
Too much.
I saw a tweet the other day saying Conor McGregor's next fight is now going to be the most paid fight ever, but it's overtaken KSI Logan. I don't know if this was real. But
KSI Logan's like, both of them in the top 10.
Logan shared it though. Logan was the one who shared it, saying, two YouTubers aren't doing too bad.
Just makes him look better, whether or not it's true or not.
I think they're both in the top 20 most bought pay-per-views. But
That's
we know
mental,
that Khabib McGregor did like nearly 3 million buys.
Wow.
Mayweather Pacquiao's like 3 million buys. So
and then
they do more than Joshua.
McGregor Mayweather must have been big as well.
Yes.
I know it was a bit of a
but that's
comedy.
the most bought. That's the most bought.
Yeah.
3.6 or something.
Oh, is it?
But KSI, well, they said it was 1.2 round in the first one, but don't forget it was a cheaper price point. Don't forget that in the US, a pay-per-view is $100.
Wow.
So like a McGregor Mayweather in the US, to do 3 million buys in the US is an unbelievable amount of money.
$300 million, yeah.
Whereas in the UK, it's 20 quid.
Yeah.
And for this fight, for the Logan fight, it was
Tenner?
20 quid second time, £10 first
Do
time.
you think a KSI Jake Paul fight would do better?
I think
with the build-up?
I think they hate each other more.
I think it could be the biggest
Actual hatred fight.
YouTuber fight ever.
Everyone thinks that Jake's better than Logan.
Yeah.
We've seen Jake win. We've never seen Logan win, which is builds a story.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen JJ conquer his brother and in his own backyard, which is great. So that's a great story.
Well, yeah. You just got to boil it down to Jake's beat Deji. Yeah.
So they both fought the brothers.
Yeah. So they can both avenge their brothers here.
Yeah.
This
not sure if
really,
KSI cares too much.
Eddie Hearn must have seen that third knockdown on Gibb, and literally the money must have gone in his eyes.
Wow.
It is such a big event, this.
Yeah.
JJ, and the whole UK scene hates Jake, right? You brought Jake up, you don't like him. Everyone fucking hates Jake Paul.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect hero versus villain story, which is what everybody wants. We saw Logan, despite the fact he actually likes JJ and JJ likes Logan. Logan tried to play the villain. He dressed in all black in the UK press conference. He's the borderline beret, flat cap,
Yeah.
the moustache. Like he literally built himself into this criminal style villain.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that a story sells better when it's got a hero and a villain. Jake Paul doesn't need to wear a fucking black to be a villain. Everyone hates him.
Yeah.
So it's perfect.
Yeah.
JJ is the ultimate hero. And everybody in the UK scene loves him. And everyone in the US loves him as well.
Also, somebody, and again, this is speculation. I'm not going to know the ins and outs of it. But
Trust me, he knows nothing.
somebody sent me a link yesterday on Instagram DMs. I clicked on it. It opened up the Coral app on my phone.
There's a betting market.
They're taking odds on JJ versus
Yeah, but they do that
Jake
quite a lot.
Paul.
You can.
Why were they taking money for a fight that will never happen?
But they do that on loads of different fights.
Do they?
Boxing especially.
Oh.
They'll take you'll be able to bet on Joshua Tyson Fury right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he was right. You know nothing.
Yeah, if you go onto Sky Bet, you'll be able to bet on a boxing fight that is a fantasy boxing fight.
That's
Right.
strange.
Yeah, but they just pay you back out if it doesn't happen.
Oh, really?
But yeah, it is pretty.
Who's betting on that? Who's going, might happen eventually. Here's
Well,
100 quid that I might not see until they say it won't.
Because you might think that now is the time to get the best odds on Joshua to beat Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
If Tyson Fury knocks out Wilder, and he's like, oh well, that odds will come absolutely.
Yeah.
crashing.
Who would you be betting on? Again, like,
I back JJ to the hill.
would you?
JJ's a great guy. I've got a lot of respect for him. He's screwed me around a few times, but for like legitimate reasons. But there was one client that we worked on that everything had been built up around him being the star, and he pulled out 3 days to go.
Oh,
And I
shit.
spent 3 days working with him to get it done. It was in the midst of the Deji fallout.
Right.
Christmas.
Yeah.
It's the worst phone call I've ever received. I got a phone call from Liam, his manager, who again I get on very, very well, and he called me and just went, oh, "Mate, I don't know what to say, but it's just not going to happen because all this shit was going on."
Yeah.
And I'd done the PR, like everybody knew that JJ was going to be the guy for this deal,
Wow.
and we never told the client that he pulled out. We just spent 3 days making it happen,
Right.
and Liam and I can have devising a strategy that if we just don't talk to JJ for a few days, we just got to hope this whole situation just ices a bit.
Yeah.
If we just keep pushing it, it's just never going to happen.
Yeah.
And he wasn't doing anything else. Like he was literally going complete blackout on social. I mean, even changing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying that.
Yeah.
It was a complete blackout. I'm thinking this is done. And Aaron and I in the London office were like, we're going to have to literally go. We can't phone the client, can't email the client saying this. We're going to have to go to them and just say, let's get a room. We just need to tell you something. This is bad.
Fuck.
But he pulled through, and he is honestly the best professional in the industry.
Really?
No ego at all. There is no ego at all. Like he will listen to everything he needs to do.
Yeah.
He will tick every box. He'll always over deliver. I've never been let down by JJ except from that one instance.
Yeah.
But even then he pulled through.
Right.
But I understood the situation.
Yeah.
The situation was 1 in a million shot. But when it actually came to it, pulled through. So people listening to this and going, what's he like? Yeah, he's got a lot of money and he's been incredibly successful. But as a bloke, I don't think I've dealt with many people that are better.
We found him really, really
Yeah,
likable
so I said
when he came on.
afterwards. He was
We were talking
probably.
about that in the car on the way to the LA fight as well, right? We were saying, actually, you were unbelievably nervous for JJ,
Yeah,
despite not knowing him that well. And I was the same. Like, I just didn't want to see the guy get fucked.
yeah. I had well bad anxiety on that day, and I worried that like the sidemen thought, what the fuck is this? Who is this guy to worry that much? But something inside me was just fretting.
We spent a lot of time together that night.
Yeah, we did.
I didn't get shouted at calling me a B-Tech jackmate that time. I went to the press conference in London, and obviously we've got a cameraman who follows me and the business around for our daily vlog. I get out of the taxi to this hall, and there's thousands of people outside queuing. I get out of the taxi with a cameraman behind me with this fucking haircut. And I get so much abuse. Oh, you B-Tech jack, mate. You're just a shit jack, mate. Like, oh, good.
I'm the shit jack, mate.
I took it took ages to find the door. You know when you're stressed, you just try not to engage with anything.
Yeah.
And you're like, where's the fucking door? I'm gonna get in.
You have to walk back past
I've been given a fucking VIP pass. All I'm getting is shit from kids. I can't film anything here because it's just gonna be shit. Start throwing stuff. Oh, I don't need this. Shows how much you're like.
No, they'd have been throwing rose petals if it was me. You were the B-Tech one, so you're getting glass bottles.
Yeah,
and used condoms. Don't know why I said that. Don't know why I said it.
You know, we've got in my office behind me, I've got the T-shirt that Vidal threw at Shannon Briggs, and the dictionary that was thrown at Shannon Briggs.
eBay it.
And Shannon Briggs threw into the crowd about learning more words and thus Let's Go Champ.
Yeah.
Both those items.
Wow, them items are like locked into YouTube folklore.
I know,
now.
exactly.
I like that you got to that from him saying a condom was thrown.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got them. Okay.
It was the dictionary, the T-shirt, and the condom in a pile.
Okay.
I'll leave the condom. I looked at it on the floor and thought, I'm going to pick those things up. I think they could be worth something.
Yeah,
for years.
definitely. Why not? Moving on to a few of the horror stories. I know we're doing a bumper long episode here, but I'm finding this utterly fascinating. So, fuck you guys. If this is too long for you, fuck yeah, it's my show.
Or skip ahead 10 minutes, probably get some juicy stories.
Yeah. I'm going to say 3 words to you.
Oh, I know what they are as well.
Can you guess?
It's going to revolve around nonce.
Stephen tries nonskate.
Yeah.
What's that?
It was a mad week.
That's another one for the trailer.
I think Stephen will be very open for me talking about this. He's talked about it himself a few times and referenced it in videos. And I'm not going to... It wasn't his fault.
He's done nothing wrong.
No, he did nothing wrong. And we did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
We were in the hands of the client. The client was TikTok. He's been very open about that. Who are a great client for us. And this is the very early stages of the conversations. But and this was, I think, go back to sort of December 2018, if not January 2019. That was sort of time. And obviously, in a nice way, in a weird way, and an unexplainable way, especially to a Chinese mega organization, Stephen's audience are affectionately calling him a nonce off the back of Will N.E. and I'm Alex and people like that who've like pushed this.
Yeah.
And now if you go into Stephen's comments under every video, then that's kind of the running joke.
Yeah.
That is a very, very difficult thing to explain over the phone to someone in China at 7 a.m. in the morning when they go, why is this happening on our video that we've spent a lot of money on? And that's an impossible thing to explain.
Yeah.
So
right, hang on, role play. Right, so I'm the guy. Right,
you're the.
I'm the Chinese guy.
Don't
we'll
put
not
on
do
an
the
accent.
accent. We'll not do the.
Yeah.
I'm a Chinese guy.
We got an email first of all.
Right. Okay.
We didn't see it. We didn't. It's one of those things you don't plan for.
Yeah. I'm calling you up 7 a.m, and I'm asking you. Right, ring. Answer the phone. Come on.
Yeah. Hello.
He does not want to do that.
I'm opening my eyes. I go, oh, hello. Unknown number. I'm thinking, oh, God.
Harry, Mr. Hugo.
Yeah.
Why the
So I
fuck?
have to keep the hand here the whole time?
Yeah, it's method acting. Why the fuck are people calling... I'm never going to say it like this, but why the fuck are people calling Stephen Tries a nonce on our video? Is he a nonce?
He's not. And that was what they believed.
Oh, did he? Did they?
That was the problem, right?
Yeah.
We had 2 phases of explanation. One, he's not. And
Well, we can't rule it out. Really.
but imagine someone who has no idea of the internet, of the YouTube culture around Stephen and even British YouTube humor, who sees a word they don't understand and Googles it and sees the first return of it and then goes, we've just spent a lot of money on this.
And he's a paedophile.
And he's a paedophile.
Yeah.
So that's their first thing. So the first thing I've got to convince them is that's not the case.
Yeah. But then that might just seem like you're defending a paedophile.
Yeah. I was in a no-win situation.
Yeah.
And then the second part of it is educating as to why that is going on. And then we all came to a very amicable situation where we pulled Stephen's part of it.
Right.
We, as a company, we took the hit and we paid Stephen.
Right.
So we didn't get paid for Stephen's bit, but we took the hit, and Stephen done all the work for us. He come to the shoot day, done all that. Like it was what it was. We knew that we'd have to take the hit, but that's so be it. That's part of the game we're in. But yeah, TikTok pulled that part of the campaign. The rest of the campaign was very successful. Like Simon was part of it and a few other people. But yeah, mate, that week going back and forth over phone calls, texts, emails,
horrible.
dealing with Stu, who was in New Zealand. So I'm like having calls with him at like 4 a.m, trying to sort this out. A complete nightmare. But like, that's the sort of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people just don't see. They see a video go up and they just think that stays and just like is what it is.
Yeah.
It is not what it is.
So do you think that there's going to be a way in the future? So I won't mention anyone's name, but if I just said like to my audience, if I was a massive cunt, right? Let's pretend. And I said, ex-YouTuber, go and spam them with the word pedo.
Yeah.
Could that really...
That would really, really screw them. I mean, Stephen must have lost tens of thousands of pounds on brand deals based on that.
I don't understand.
Can't he just hide the word nonce from his comments?
See, that was the mistake we made because the video we hosted was on the TikTok channel.
Yeah.
And we should have had the foresight to hide that word from the get-go. It's not one of those things that springs to mind when you're doing a brand deal.
I don't understand why people affectionately do it. If I post a photo on my Instagram of like me and my nieces, the amount of comments I just have to delete because people are just going nonce. And I'm like, I don't get it.
You don't want people knowing that, do you?
Yeah, but if you said it as like you're my mate making a joke, these are random people.
Yeah,
and a great joke as well.
Follow me.
It's a weird cultural phenomenon in the UK YouTube scene.
We're weird.
Yeah,
but it doesn't help. Like, if you're listening to this and you do that, honestly, you are
possibly
if they're your favorite creators, you are taking them out of the ability to earn money that they deserve, right?
Yeah.
Stephen is a great example of someone who deserves far more money than he gets, because that is one example of the reason that he can't get it, because he's not deemed that brand safe. Exactly the same as you, right?
Yeah.
So, like, brand safety is a big thing for big brands who are willing to spend big budget.
And
so
don't fucking do it.
Just don't think about your actions to the person who you like, especially if you're doing it affectionately. If you're doing it because you hate them, fair play. But if you're doing it because you like them and you think it's funny, then I think about it. Think about the repercussions on the individual. Who, forever, if you type in Stephen Tries, that
connotation is going to come up.
Yeah.
Want to talk a bit about your vlogs, but before we get to that, one more question. At this point, I've stopped doing the structured show and I'm just hitting you with bullet points and letting you tell me stuff. What the fuck does Australia Tourist Board mean?
Yeah, so we work with the Aussie Tourist Board, sending UK YouTubers and personalities out to Oz. And it's a great campaign for a YouTuber, right? They get to go. I think last year we sent Emily Canham and Adam Waith, a few other people. And it's an awesome campaign. It's not a huge budget campaign.
Yeah.
Not pretending that it is. And the guys who go want to go to Australia, and they get 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like the most amazing Australian experience.
Yeah.
To show people what it's like to go traveling in Australia and the things they can do.
Almost me and you this year. You told me on
buzzing.
You're an economy. So the opportunity is amazing. Yes, the financial incentive isn't brilliant, but it's not bad. To get paid to go on an all expensive
trip. Oh, mate, sign me up.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing. So we sent these 2 people, and I'm not going to name names, but they have fucked us multiple times now. Emily
Canham and Adam Waith.
They're actually very good to work with. But and they, to be fair, picked up a lot of slack from these 2 who fucked us. So I've got a lot of respect for them. But these other 2, they went. We paid for everything to get them there. They did the first day. Decided they didn't like it. they're in 5-star hotels. They flew business. Like, it is a fucking great trip.
Yeah.
Decided they didn't like it. Japan Rugby World Cup's on. They just flew there after one day.
What?
And I again, get a phone call in the morning going, these 2 people have just left.
What?
Is there no contract to tie them into
obviously
it?
we don't pay for it. They came back at us and tried to force us to pay it. And we just went, obviously not.
You didn't do
it.
What was on what grounds?
entitlement
On what grounds were they trying to get paid?
They said that it wasn't what it was cracked up to be. It was a 5-star hotel. Like, the other guys thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Jack and I would stay.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Get that in writing.
That's insane.
Like, it was mad. And then to see them just go out and enjoy something else, but we'd effectively flown them there.
Yeah.
And then the cheek of them to come back and try and get the money.
Yeah, you think they'd just leave it at that.
That is obscene.
Yeah.
And we have so many examples of that. There's so many funny stories. We've seen invoices on scraps of paper WhatsApp to us with like, you owe me £300. Like, what? This whole... show Stevie.
Stevie, I've got it here. You don't read who it's from, but look at this invoice.
This was 3.5 years ago. This shows how far we've come as an industry.
That's asking for the money. It's in the most terrible handwriting. It's £300.
I can only imagine it's either on Snapchat and he's used his finger to like write the letters.
Oh wow!
It looks kind of digital, right? It doesn't look like it's pen.
It's weird.
Oh my god!
So it's, you owe me £300. Bank transfer, thanks.
Yeah. My favourite part of that is that he did that and went, yeah, that'll do. That looks about right.
And we obviously deal with lots of Facebook pages on the whole are run out of, Facebook group pages run out of like India and Kosovo and Albania and like people that English is their second language.
Yeah.
But honestly, some of the conversations are like, I went around the office to try and get some horror stories before I came on here. And one of the guys just popped up and went, "Oh, tell him about the time I got threatened to be killed." And I went, "What?"
Rewind.
I was talking to this guy who owns a football page on Facebook, and he's Russian. And I said, I want to do a collaboration with you guys. We'll pay for it. And the Russian guy just went, "Pay me now." And the guy who works for us went, "Yeah, we'll pay you. This is what we want to do." He said, "No, pay me now." And he would reply with like, "Okay, look, we're going to negotiate what that is. But this is what we want you to do. Can you send over your bank details and things like that?" And he went, "No, pay me now." It's like, yeah, but we need your bank. We're going to need some sort of conversation here other than pay me now. We understand there's a transaction.
At this point, you would have liked that bit of paper.
And we just kept going back and forth. And then kept going back and forth. And to the point where he was like, "You are a dick. You suck dick. You suck dick." It's like, how's it gone from "I'm going to give you money" to "you suck dick"?
Yeah, I mean, I do, but that's besides the point.
What are you getting the money for?
And then it changed to, "I know people in Russia. We
Well, I should hope so. I know other people.
We kill you if you no pay." And we're like, "Tell us how to pay the money."
At this point, it was fearing for your life.
Yeah.
You were paying them just for that.
Like, we deal with
insane.
so many crazy situations. I sent you something this morning.
I can also show you this, Stevie.
Which is
Harry,
exciting.
while I get this up,
is a
just
screenshot, and I
explain
can
what
tell
this
you everything
is.
about this. So this is a client we're currently working with, Instagram influencer, who sends. We get influencers to send their analytics after they've done the campaign.
So, look, right. So this is look. Somebody's added a 6 there.
So there's Photoshop. So people send us Instagram analytics from their screenshots, and they Photoshop their numbers to make them look better, which is fine. Like, I get I get the hustle. It's scamming everybody, but I get the hustle. And then someone's taken it to a whole new level.
Stevie's just seen
That is not real.
So the first screenshot Jack showed Stevie was literally, it's a good Photoshop.
Can I, if I hide who the influencer is,
Yeah,
can
you
I
can
put
put it
these
up,
up?
yeah.
What, even with her face?
No, hide the influencer.
All right, okay. I tried to push my
Hide
luck
the
there.
influencer and hide the brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the first one, which has now been shown, is like a good Photoshop. You could, after a few seconds of working out, you can see it's
The
Photoshop.
gap's not quite right.
Gap's
So
not quite right.
the 6 and the 4 is terrible.
Too close together.
Yeah, too
terrible.
close together.
Yeah.
The second one, which was sent, is a batch of 4 images on stats. The 4 other ones are real, unphotoshopped, and then that one obviously didn't perform that well, so they've just drawn in some stats.
But it's not in a type. It's handwritten on like a tablet or on the phone.
So the font is in the real stat is in 7, is in white, and the handwritten is in black.
But it's poorly handwritten as well.
Have they just given up?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they've just accepted defeat. That is live. Like, that's not me going back in the archives to. That was this morning. That came in this morning.
Wow.
So what do you reply to something like that?
We just like you. We can't pay you for this. Obviously, you're just trying to scam us. It is what it is. Like, we're not out here to, like I said throughout this, we're not out here to screw people. But don't try and screw us.
So at this point, are they paid per action or something?
No. That's why it's even weirder. We pay per. Like we've done deals with you pay per video.
Yeah, per story,
We take the liability on what the actions are taken off the back of it based on our data and what we think is going to happen off the back of someone putting a video or a story up.
Yeah.
How many clicks they get, how many conversions they get. So we don't pay based on how many impressions or how many clicks or anything. They've just gone, okay, well, maybe they'll give me more money if I do really well.
Yeah.
For next time.
Next time.
And we're like, well, at least try a bit harder.
Or embarrassment to be like, oh, only 7 people actually.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. That's a good point.
It could be embarrassment, but that's more embarrassing.
That is fucking embarrassing.
That they gave up.
That is the worst thing I've ever seen. And I've seen ISIS beheading videos, and that is worse. Do you know what I mean?
It is bad.
How do we always get here?
God, right. I'm cautious of time. So, Harry, before we get on to Twitter questions,
of which there were some good ones.
There were some very good ones. So, guys, if you do want to follow Jack's Happy Hour on Twitter, please do that. I'm as I said, I'm banned on Twitter at the moment. So follow
that's
that
what
one.
you're using.
You're part of a daily vlog on Go.
Yeah. So we've taken to the YouTube scene. You very kindly talked about us in a main channel video a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, we've been daily vlogging for 256 episodes now.
That's great effort.
Every day we release Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday.
Nice.
And yeah, it's just behind the scenes. It's this, what we talk about every day.
That's what I was going to say. If you've enjoyed this podcast and you want to see more of it on a daily basis in more manageable chunks, because we're getting on to, bloody 2 hours?
Hour and a half, yeah.
Oh my God. But go and check it out.
It's 5 minutes a day. Like, we're not trying to take up every minute of your day, but we talk about YouTube, the inner workings of it, what brands are looking for, what YouTubers are doing. YouTubers feature on the vlog. You were in with us on LA. We've got the Sidemen on quite a lot.
Yeah.
You were filming today.
Yeah,
we're filming today, so that'll be on tomorrow's episode. So yeah, we're the behind the scenes of YouTube, and if you're interested in that, if you're interested in this, you're interested in what Stu talked about on the Happy Hour podcast a few months ago, then it's probably the best fix you can get of behind the scenes action of YouTube every single day, because very few people talk about it.
I thoroughly enjoy it, and I do endorse it. So go and check it out. Is that the Goat Agency?
The Goat Agency, yeah, GOAT, as in the horned farm animal.
Yeah.
You do like on a phone call, and they go, well, "Give me your email address." It's like Goat Agency. It's like Go Agency. No, the horned farm animal. Type, and you go, "Oh no."
Are you called that because of the greatest of all time?
Yeah, we didn't tell anyone that for the first 3 years until we were.
Yeah, well, that's cool, but I also thought that the acronym GOAT, for meaning that, has only been about recently. I didn't know it was about 4.5.
At Sport Lobster, we did loads of deals with the American sports companies, and we realised that Michael Jordan and Tom Brady, they were called the GOATs. So that's been an American thing for a long, long time. And then recently it's become Lionel Messi, etc., Federer, into the European sports. But yeah, it's been an American thing for a long time. So in the office, before we started GOAT, and bear in mind, this is a sports company in 2012 where PC wasn't a huge thing. Diversity wasn't massive. We were 70 employees, 69 male.
Fuck.
And we just found it funny. If we would call things, if things were good, we'd call them GOAT.
Yeah.
Oh, that's GOAT, mate.
And
if things were bad, we call them WOAT, worst of all time. So it's either GOAT or WOAT. So when we came to actually naming the company, we're like, I just call it GOAT or WOAT. And then we thought, well, we can't call it WOAT because we know the acronym. So we're going to call it GOAT.
No, I like it. It's a good name. Good name. We are going to finish on a few relatively quick-fire Twitter questions. These have been submitted by users who follow the Happy Hour account. First one we'll go for, and this is an interesting one that I'm going to be interested in hearing the answer to. Liam B0117 says, where do brands like Raid Shadow Legends come from, But more than that, how do they see a return on the thousands of pounds they clearly pump into these YouTubers?
Yeah, so whether they come from, normally, I think I said it earlier in the podcast, normally these games are coming out of China.
Right.
So they're very well backed. Even ByteDance, which owns TikTok, has a lot of mobile games. They're a mobile business. So lots of them are coming with billions of dollars in like the studio, and then they use they will basically launch hundreds of games, and then they'll work out which one gets the best return. And everything, to answer the second part of the question, is down to lifetime value of the customer. So yeah, they might get only a smallish influx of new users, but if those new users go on to spend £50, £100 each on the game in order to level up and do those things, then you don't need that many people in order to make a lot of money. So they launch 100 games, they work out which 5 generate good lifetime value per user, and then they pump money into that because they know they can print money.
Wow.
So if they know that they can pay £10,000 to get 1,000 new players, then they only need each person to pay £100 each over the course of their life in order to make that investment worth it.
Right.
And they're doing that sum based on something that they've done in the past, which they know has worked.
But do you, and this, as a YouTuber, this could be completely shooting myself in the foot here, but do you not feel that the YouTube audiences now skip that part of the video? That's what I worry about. I worry when I start a video, hi guys, this video is sponsored. They go, click, skip to the bit.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely a percentage of people that do that. I think if you look at Joe Weller's latest, it might not be his latest by the time this goes out, but if you go back to his collaboration with Nico Milana, which was sponsored by Curve,
right,
the credit card company, which have done a few different sponsors with Calix, Calfreezy.
Yeah.
So he did it at the start, first maybe 30 seconds, then he cut, almost did an ad break in the middle, and then he finishes the whole video by saying, don't forget, you could do that. So that's quite a nice way of doing it. But I think what's interesting for people listening is that YouTubers price different ways of doing the ad in different ways. And there's 2 different types of YouTube format. You can either buy an integrated video or you can buy a dedicated video. Yeah. Dedicated video is when you paying the YouTuber to create a whole video about a topic. So you might have seen all the Formula E videos that have gone out over the last 2 or 3 years where people have traveled around the world. All your favorite YouTubers have traveled around the world and gone to Formula E races. That was us. And that's a dedicated video. They have to travel. They're doing something just about one thing. Now that could also be about the city they're going to and all those different things, but really it's a Formula E documentary.
Yeah. As opposed to a small.
And a great example, if you haven't seen any of those, Joe Weller's one of that is fucking great. The Santiago one is brilliant. It's classic old school Joe Weller. Yeah. And he takes his mum. And it's awesome. Yeah. And that's a dedicated, and an integrated is a deal where you do it for what would be a more traditional ad segment. So the deal is always the feature has to happen in the first 120 seconds for at least 90 seconds. Right. So that's why you see lots of the YouTubers do the ads right at the start, mainly because retention on YouTube normally comes out between 45 and 80%. Right. And very, very few people on average watch right to the end of every video. You'll see that with these podcasts and these clips. And so it's cheaper to put an ad at the end of a video only than it is to put it at the start. And obviously if you add into multiple parts, then it's more expensive too. But that's the thinking behind it. Right. That's a great insight. For those it's different ways of buying things. Yeah. Same with Instagram stories, right? You can buy one slide, or YouTube will do a discount for 3 or 4 slides. Yeah. Because they're creating a story that feels a bit more authentic. Yeah, for sure. And YouTubers never, people are thinking, oh yeah, YouTubers doing it just for the money, Honestly, the amount of deals that YouTubers turn down is ridiculous. Yeah. So don't feel like your favorite creator is doing something just because they're getting paid 25 grand.
I think I turned down about 80%, but that's purely just because I'm a lazy cunt.
Yeah, you are.
Just take something.
But it's true. I don't want to force. Like I said right at the start, I'm not a talent manager. I'm not trying to force you to get it. I get no benefit. I get no extra money for you doing the deal. The problem with talent managers, they want you to do the deal because they don't earn anything unless you do. Yeah. Whereas I don't care. I've already got the money. Yeah. So I'm just trying to distribute that money to the right people. Now, if that person doesn't believe that they're the right person, that's fine. I'll just go and find someone else who I do think that it is and they want to do it.
Right. That's fair enough.
So yeah.
The username want account back, which could be me, I guess, said, who is the YouTuber who is most unlike their on-screen persona? Doesn't have to mean it's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think KSI.
Do you? He's he's quite timid. Not timid.
Not
It's the
timid.
wrong word. Placid.
He is what you can only describe as a born performer.
Yeah.
Turn a camera on,
Yeah.
and he's a different bloke. I talk about him to people who don't know him or have never met him as KSI and JJ. You've got JJ who'll come into the studio, he'll be mates with everyone, he'll say hello to everybody.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if
Yeah,
you're the
he does, yeah.
person who's making the tea
Yeah.
or the host of the podcast. He'll say hello to everybody. And then bang, lights are on. He's KSI. He's laughing like he laughs. He's just a performer.
Yeah.
So I think actually, and this isn't a bad thing at all. I
No.
think that's how you can stay sane. You can't have that level of energy every single day.
No.
And I respect him for that. Like he's learned when to switch it on, when not to, and he's being true to himself. That is his natural performance element.
That's fair enough. I even inflate how I am on
Everyone
camera.
So you get a lot of people say to you that they expect you to be more of a cunt.
You're more reserved than you are on screen. You're much more outspoken on YouTube than you are behind the scenes.
But
Your opinions are always the same.
Yeah.
But you're more cautious with your opinions. You're like, look for credibility more than you do on a YouTube video.
Oh, would you agree on the podcast and just me though?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why I
bit
like
more
doing
boring.
this. Yeah, I can feel. I feel sane.
You're
doing
not
this.
Jack Mate on here. You're just Jack.
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah.
Exactly. Everyone's on YouTube. Everyone's got their like character, which is what they created when they were when it was 5 years ago. And they've had to live up to that character for the rest of the time. It's kind of, and you see it like. It was Pointless Blog, and now it's Alfie Days. It's had to go, I'm not Pointless Blog anymore. That was a character.
Yeah, Zoella did the same thing.
Zoella's now, there's no Zoe Sugg. So I think that's it's a key indicator to see what actually YouTube's becoming. They're becoming who they are, whereas but previously they were very much characters.
I think that's a lovely way to end it. To be fair, Harry.
I'm sweating my tits off here.
Yeah, but you still look.
Not be hotter.
You still look gorgeous to me, mate.
'cause I
Because you look like me. Yeah. No, as I've mentioned a few times, we were just pals. So I was like, yeah, come on. Wasn't too sure how it would go. One of my favourite episodes.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Such a great insight. So open. So honest. And
well, let's hope the audience agree.
guys, if you did enjoy this episode and you do want to go and follow Harry, where can they find you?
Yeah, go into the Go Agency on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Jackmate content on there ready for you.
Yeah, that's it. And if you did enjoy it, then do let us know, and we'll rope Harry back in when he's got a spare hour or two in the coming months. Thanks very much, guys. Harry, cheers, mate.
Thank you very much.
Stevie, thank you.
Been a pleasure.
This has been Jack Mate's Happy Hour, and we will see you in a bit.